strong message to Beijing, a strong message to Moscow, also a strong message to the electorate too. I mean, this Starmer government is very, very unpopular, isn't it, with voters? To what extent do you think some of this is about political posturing, or is this really genuine, serious concerns about interference from Moscow and from Beijing?
So I think the concern here, and the key concern that MI5 is really trying to put across, is that these aren't isolated incidents, and they reflect a broader, more dangerous new era of state threats. And that's really important for people to understand. We're not talking about traditional espionage like spy movies that we might think of. We're talking about cyber attacks, political manipulation and infrastructure vulnerabilities. And the UK's Defence Ministry has said this new era is less predictable and more dangerous than traditional espionage. And it means the UK has to invest not just in hard power like military, surveillance, but also that we need to be stronger in terms of democratic institutions, better political security awareness, and closer collaboration with allies. That's what the UK government is really trying to get across to the public. Now, the MI5 Director General, Ken McCallum, says there's been a 35% increase in the number of people under investigation for state threat activity in recent years. And it means the government and intelligence agency, they have to adapt, as I say, not just in a military sense, but institutionally and politically. But it is important to mention Russia and China, they're operating in very different ways. So this isn't the first time the Yantar has popped up near Britain's shores, and at the start of the year, a Royal Navy submarine made the highly unusual move to surface right in front of the ship as a sort of deterrent measure. And the concern, as I say, is that this is part of an ongoing operation by the Kremlin to locate and map all of those vital undersea cables and pipelines that connect the UK to the rest of the world. And as I say, there is this wider pattern of Russian activity that NATO members need to pay attention to, as Moscow seems to be testing NATO's reactions, resolve, their defences. You know, we've seen those recent drone incursions across Europe. We've seen Russian warplanes flying into NATO airspace. So, say for example, when the 3 Russian fighter jets entered Estonian skies without permission in September, Italy, Finland, Sweden scrambled jets under NATO's mission to bolster its eastern flank. So that in itself is all interesting intel for Russia. But as I say, unlike a flashy operation like a spy ship, the Chinese approach seems to be involving building influence networks like headhunters and financial incentives for non-classified insights. And McCallum described China as a daily threat and said Chinese intelligence activity affects many domains, including universities and critical infrastructure. So this really is all changing, and it's a changing picture that the government has to adapt to.